Good day and welcome to our watercolor journey. Today we're going to paint this misty landscape inspired by art by Sable Ray on IG. The materials I used is in colors. I use yellow green, shadow green and Paynes grey black from Schminker. The paper I used is Potentate cold press 100% cotton, and the brushes is the Escoda Ultimo number 12 Mottler, Raphael Petit Gris number 12 round, and a Chinese calligraphy brush. I sprayed the paper and used the brush also to wet the paper properly. I didn't go through the process because it takes too long, but make sure that it's wet very well. Then I used the Paynes grey black to start creating my sky, and also I blended in those colors throughout the paper. For that misty effect you do not want pure white. Now I also started laying in my initial greens that I wanted in the background. I think at this point you don't need to be too precise in what you do, because this is all colors that's going to fade back into the mist. Just get a basis to work from at this point. Yeah, I blended the greens and the black just to create a more intense foreground. Everything is still going to fuse because this is still your first layer, and it really doesn't look like much, but as you go along it will start to take shape. I used a little bit more concentrated green for that layers. Just to create the spaces, it makes your work much less later on. And you want interest and variety in your color blends. Remember, each time that you work on top of your bottom layer, your pigment needs to be stronger. Otherwise you have a risk of creating cauliflowers. I think that's done for now. Let your painting dry. As you can see, the colors faded back quite a bit. I did another layer of wetness on the paper because I still want this layer to be soft and diffused. Now I'm starting to develop some shape in my trees, and this will also fade back a lot. So all this is done in the wet and wet technique. Also building up the values in the foreground, but still there's no specific details. Everything will still fuse back quite a bit, and it will be soft for the edges we're going to do later on. So I'm building up values, and I'm just spraying it so that it diffuses a lot more to create that soft edges. I'm using a damp kitchen towel just to fade out some of the colors at the top and dabbing up some of the extra moisture on the paper. Now it's time just to tilt and make that paint spread a lot more. Let your painting dry. As you can see, it diffused quite a bit there, and I'm using my kitchen towel again to create those edges that's not very rigid, because I want that to fade into the mist. A kitchen towel is always a very handy tool to have when you work in your watercolors. Just adding some extra pigment in my palette at the moment, and where I'm creating a very diluted mix because I want things to be still very faded and in the background. All of this is about creating layers, but there seems to be a lot happening in the painting. and use a damp brush just to fade out the edges so that you don't get really hard edges. I like using the calligraphy brush because it holds a lot of pigment and water. Just want that mid area to be a little bit stronger than the background. And we are blending it out again so that you have soft edges. Once again, I'm just blending it out, but I don't have any watermarks. Let your painting dry. Now it's time to develop and create my main trees. I'm just going to show you a few of them that I'm doing. I'm blending the green and the black, and everywhere I'm also adding a little bit of that yellow-green. So the process is basically the same, so I'm just going to show you the first few, as I said. This is where we are working with harder edges. Because as always, you want soft edges and hard edges in your paintings. I'm really building up that value at the bottom of the painting, because that's a place where and don't let your trees be all the same size. Use a variety of lengths in them, and that will also make your painting look a lot more interesting. Where you can see where I brought in the yellow-green, it just brings in some light and interest. remember to leave light gaps in between the foliage, because you want that background to shine through. I'm creating background trees with that lighter mix, just to add volume. I decided that tree is not tall enough, so I extended it a little bit. So don't worry if something is not exactly the way that you want it, because some of the things can be fixed. Yeah, I'm on the right hand side, I'm creating 3 images, but you will see what I'm going to do with it, because I don't want just one straight line of trees in that area. I'm using my spray bottle to diffuse that area, and then I'm tilting and mixing and blending, and I think that creates a lot more interest than a straight line of trees. A lot of fun to play around with this and tilt your paper and let the watercolor do its own magic. I think we're done with this now, and we sign it. Please like, subscribe and comment for me. Thank you for watching. See you next time.